First of all, there was the rise of Islam. And the rise of Islam created a thunderstroke for the Christian world. It was totally unexpected, came out of nowhere as far as they were concerned, and here is this non-Christian force and power that's conquering parts of the Roman Empire, parts of the Christian Empire, and that had already overthrown and taken over the Persian Empire and was spreading like wildfire. And of course, they thought of this as the great Antichrist. I mean, what is it? This tremendous force and power. And the Muslims, inspired by the Prophet Muhammad in Arabia, the Muslim Arabs streamed out of Arabia. They conquered the Persian Empire. They conquered many of the eastern provinces of the Christian Roman Empire, including Syria, Palestine, Egypt, and then all of North Africa. And in less than 100 years, they had already controlled all of North Africa to the Atlantic Ocean. In 711, they crossed over the Straits of Gibraltar and conquered Spain and Portugal, and crossed over the Pyrenees Mountains and were moving into France, but they were stopped in 723 by Charles Martel. And thus the Arabic Islamic empires now were established from Spain all the way across North Africa to Iran, to Persia, with their great centers in Babylon, now with their capital of Baghdad, which is still the capital of Iraq. Baghdad became the great capital of the Islamic Empire of the East before the Crusades. After the Muslims conquered the whole area, they declared that Jews and Christians are to be protected non-believers. There's a special word for them, dhimmis in Arabic. Protected non-believers, meaning they're non-believers, they're inferior to Muslims, but we don't kill them. So you could say that the Christians and the Jews under the Muslims were a second-class population, because only the Muslims are the chosen of God and the true representatives of God's will on earth. You see, when Muhammad was preaching, and he talks about the Torah and the New Testament, he says, God gave the Torah to Moses for the Jews, and he gave the New Testament to Jesus for the Christians, but now God is giving his final revelation to the Arabs through Muhammad, but this is the true revelation, and it really is the true revelation. The others have been distorted, and therefore only a Muslim, only one who is totally devoted to the teachings of Muhammad in the Quran, is the one who is favored by God. All the rest are inferior. If they're pagans, we'll wipe them out, but if they are believers in God, he calls the Jews and the Christians Ahlul Kitab, the people of the book. If they're people of the book, we let them live, but they are subject to us. And so Jews and Christians became subservient to Muslims. Now, depending on the area and how they were treated, in some places they were treated moderately well, in other places they were persecuted. So it varies from place to place. In some places, the Muslims treated the Jews with a lot of tolerance. The neighboring country, they were killing them. Cordoba in Spain became the capital of the Islamic Empire of Spain. And then there were other centers, such as the cities of Fez in Morocco and Kairouan, and then Cairo in Egypt, which became a great center, especially of the Fatimid Islamic Empire. In other words, the Islamic Empire started out as one and then broke up into groups and sects and rivalries. And so you have very many Islamic kingdoms and empires. But Islam as a whole spread from the borders of India all the way across the Middle East, North Africa, and into Spain. They also conquered Sicily, by the way. And there was an Arabic Islamic kingdom of Sicily, which lasted for several centuries.